So, welcome to our last session today. We are going to do some practical experiences and exercises. And before that, I just want to give a little summary and conclusion of what we did and why we did it. So I'm doing first the Mangalacharna. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shulakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So far, from what we have seen various examples of very unusual mental abilities. And from that, our conclusion is that humans possess natural mental abilities beyond the grasp of our limited senses. And these are often inconsistent because the brain filters and distorts information to prevent sensory overload. So it is good that we don't hear and see everything, because that would be a big problem. We would not be functional in daily life. So while this filtering is useful for navigating daily life, it can limit our perception. The key lies in understanding the mind and cultivating flexibility to shift between logical thinking, which is our left brain, and intuitive awareness, which is the right brain, allowing us to access broader states of consciousness. We did various exercises where we harmonized the left and the right brain, and where we connected heart and mind, because that's very important to really have a broader spectrum. And as we know from Bhagavad Gita, the mind is our greatest friend and our biggest enemy, depending on how we use it and depending on whether we are able to control it. And the mind holds the power to heal or hinder our healing. When we are able to control it, we can shape our well-being, our relationships, and our health. And as we have seen in one of the previous exercises, every thought, every belief, and every perception sends ripples through our body, influencing our well-being, our relationships, and our overall health. If you remember, we did this practical demonstration where we could directly experience how thoughts can weaken a person or can strengthen a person. And that it does not only include our own thoughts, but thoughts of others. That means we have to be really aware. I have stressed it many times, but stressing it for the last time, we have to be very aware of what we think about ourselves and about others, how we perceive ourselves and others. It's very, very important for anything, for our spiritual life, and for healing, of course, also, depending on whether we believe in something or whether we have doubt in any process. The same is in spiritual life. It can be directly related. And faith and conviction are key. As the placebo effect shows, believing in a remedy can prompt the body to create the desired outcome. So now what we're going to do is a little introduction into history clearing, which is what I'm practicing, that transgenerational trauma therapy. And the idea here, this is a promotional poster: live your own life and not that of your ancestors. Free yourself from the shadows of the past. And we can rewrite the movie of our life, because it is the thoughts which do influence us. And depending on how we see ourselves, when we rewrite our movie, our life movie, or when we reconfirm past traumas, then we directly have that experience. It's a directly resonance with what we believe of ourselves. So it has been found that we are influenced by 254, we call it family influences. And these consist of, first we have the maternal side and the paternal side, mother and father, that's one. That's the first generation. Then the second generation, the grandparents, father, mother, 4. Then continues, third generation, great-grandparents, 4 and 4 is 8. Next generation, 5th is 32, and so on. Then 6, 46, 7th, and then we have altogether 254 plus our own previous lives. And all these impressions, these are, we can say, sanskaras, which are in our energy field and which influence us. And these things do not appear when we leave our bodies. They stay with us, and the energy field of mother and father are transferred to the baby. So that baby has both, plus every generation. So this adds a huge, like, we have a big baggage, from traumas from our ancestors and our own. And these traumas can wear us down and can cause many, many problems on a physical and mental level. And I have a whole list of problems which it can cause. So we want to get rid of these influences, these patterns in our energy field. And we do this in a very playful way without going into the drama. These are very violent experiences which usually end with death. And we have listed 35 main karmic patterns. And they can be further divided, and we test them out. We want to know whether we are influenced by these karmic patterns, means whether we are weakened by them, by these patterns. And the system which we use is, we ask our subconsciousness, because with our logical mind we cannot access that. But all this is in our chitta, and to access the chitta we need to get there. And the way we do it is we use the body pendulum, and I'm going to introduce that. I'm just explaining theoretically. So important is that we do this. The first impulse that we get, which is triggered from the brain stem, it's like the reptile brain. And this is the oldest and deepest part of our brain, which also controls vital functions such as breathing and heartbeat. So it's not controlled by our conscious mind and the storyteller, which is usually here the front part of the left brain. So we use the body pendulum to question this part of the brain, which operates at a frequency of 100 hertz. And from there we receive the immediate bodily reflex. That means we feel the reflex instantly. And this response is faster than our conscious thought. And therefore this test cannot be tricked. So I'm going to demonstrate this. So first we have to ground ourselves, so that we connect our brain and our heart, and we connect our left and our right brain. So we take 3 deep breaths. So we take the air in, you can all follow me. Take a deep inhale, we connect with the sky. We breathe into our lungs and the heart opens. We keep it for a moment. And then we slowly breathe it out, down, 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 through our legs and our feet into the ground. And as we breathe it out, stale air goes out and roots are growing from our feet into the soil, into the earth. One more. Deep inhale, connecting with the sky. Breathing into the lungs and the heart becomes big. We connect heart and brain. Keep it for a moment and slowly breathe it out, down through the legs and the feet into the ground. And one more time. Deep inhale, fresh air into the lungs. The heart becomes wide, connecting and breathing it down through the feet into the ground. Okay. So now we are going to connect the left and right hemisphere by stretching out our arms, turning the palms outside, clasping hands, turning it up, holding it for a moment. Then we take our knees left to right over cross and hold it for a moment. Okay, and now you can follow, this is our like a mantra for the body pendulum. So we say, I am ordering. And then you take your right hand, if you're right-handed, is anybody left-handed? No. Okay, you take your right hand on your heart, left hand on your belly. I'm ordering.
I'm ordering.
When it strengthens and relaxes me,
When it strengthens and relaxes me,
my body moves forward.
my body moves forward.
When it weakens and stresses me,
When it weakens and stresses me,
my body moves backward.
my body moves backward.
Body, give me a clear signal.
Body, give me a clear signal.
Okay, and now you imagine a dead rat in front of you, a dead rat. Okay, you connect with the image of a dead rat. And now you ask, when it strengthens and relaxes me, my body moves forward.
When it strengthens and relaxes me, my body moves forward.
When it weakens and stresses me, my body moves backward.
When it weakens and stresses me, my body moves backward.
Now think of the rat and see what your body is doing. So important is that you get this impulse, the first impulse. So we are doing this exercise in order for you to be able to connect with that weakening aspect. So ideally you should, when you think of the rat, you should get the impulse and your body should make this movement. Then you got it. Because unless you feel the impulse, we cannot do the testing. So now we do another test where you think of your favorite meal, what you really, really like, something you're very fond of. Again, you connect. Or someone, exactly. Connect. When it strengthens and relaxes me, my body moves forward.
When it strengthens and relaxes me, my body moves forward.
Okay, I see already most of you.
Already goes.
Okay, good. Could everybody get? Okay, very good. Okay, excellent. Now what we're doing is, I'm going to show you the 35 main patterns. And I'm showing it for such a short time that you cannot consciously read it. It's like this advertisement, which is flashing subliminals, exactly. So for our Zoom people, I'm going to show this, and you can all look at the screen. Okay, now look for a moment. Take it into your chitta. You can take it with your hands, just take it in. Okay, Bas. I'm going to read the karmic patterns without saying what it is. I'm just giving you the numbers. I'm giving you each number, and you just stand and let the impulse, the first impulse, and that's why now you need your card and your paper, because whenever you fall back, you write the number on your paper. So if everybody could get their papers. And you just keep the paper at the side so that your hands are free. And I would like, before we start testing now, I would like to ask if anybody wants to share their experiences with that, so that others understand maybe why we're doing that and how it can benefit. So would anybody like to share?
I have checked all of these experiences, and I'm astonished how the body showed me what is going on, not what is in the mind. And the body told me what is right. And I can see how many of my, from this traumatic experiences from my grandparents are also in my own field. And I was surprised as a child. I have all kinds of emotions, but I don't know from where are they coming. My grandparents are not living, but I see the pictures, what is happening in the war. And if I related these stories to Prahlad Maharaj, my question were, how can I heal all these issues from the background of my family, 7 generations back, on my own aura?
Okay, thank you. Thank you. We'll start now with the karmic pattern, so you can all get up. So please test karmic pattern number 1. Let you immediately, the first reaction. And if you sway back, you write number 1 on your paper. Number 1. Okay. Anybody who sways back writes number 1. Okay, we continue. Karmic pattern number 2. Go with the first impulse. Okay, we continue. First impulse, just connect heart and brain, left and right brain, and connect. Karmic pattern number 3. Okay. Karmic pattern number 4. Karmic pattern number 5. Karmic pattern number 6. Karmic pattern number 7. Everybody is, yeah, some people have a lot. That means they were very active.
I have nothing.
So have nothing means, just let me clarify. Does it mean that you get no impulse, or you always sway forward? Because that is good. If you sway forward, it's fine. But if you don't get an impulse, then we have to do some more. Then there's some blockage. Then we have.
Because I feel like nothing.
You feel nothing. Okay. Okay. Then we do a little short interruption.
Okay.
If you feel nothing, there are a few things you can do. First of all, say to yourself, allow my body to feel.
Allow my body to feel.
And then you connect left and right brain. You can also do like this. And you can stamp your feet, stand like on the ground like this, with both feet. And then again, you think of the dead rats. Think of something really horrible and try to feel this, connect with this feeling of weakening. Can you?
I don't know. I don't know what I have to think about. That kind of like gives me that. I almost feel like I have to force myself to.
That's we don't want.
Like
No. You have to completely switch off your logical mind.
Okay.
You have to send this judgment and all that rational thinking. It has to be sent away, completely. Like shut it off. It's difficult. I know for some people it's very difficult. It needs some more exercises, but we can't do this now for the sake of the group. But we can talk about it maybe later.
Yeah?
We start from 7.
They said at least I just have removed my toe, but maybe the energy will.
I think we haven't done 6 yet.
Yeah, 6.
6 we did?
7 we did.
We did 7. Thank you.
7 again.
Okay, good. You want 7 again?
Yes.
Okay, do it for yourself. It's Karmic pattern number 7. Okay. Karmic pattern number 8. Karmic pattern number 9. Yeah, some people almost fall back. I mean, this can be all fall wrong. Karmic pattern number 10. Karmic pattern number 11. Karmic pattern number 12. Karmic pattern number 13.
Lucky number.
Karmic pattern number 14. Karmic pattern number 15. Karmic pattern number 16. Karmic pattern number 17. Karmic pattern number 18.
Okay, pronounce it.
Karmic pattern number 19. Karmic pattern number 20. Karmic pattern number 21. Karmic pattern number 22. Karmic pattern 23. Karmic pattern 24. Karmic pattern 25. Karmic pattern 26. Karmic pattern 27. Karmic pattern 28. Slowly, slowly. Karmic pattern 29. Karmic pattern 30. Karmic pattern 31. Karmic pattern 32. Karmic pattern 33. Karmic pattern 34. And last one, karmic pattern number 35. Okay, so now I would like you to look at your paper and see how many patterns you have. Maybe to get some ideas how many we have here. to find out the least, the most and the least. And there's no good, there's no right or wrong, it's just so that we have an idea how much is there to clear. Would like to share some numbers. How many you found? How many patterns you found? 6? 6 is very little. I mean, that's quite...
I mean, all of them. She asked if we're going backwards or everything.
You found...
Means are we going from the first one to the 35?
We're not going. First I want to know how many altogether have been found, just to get some ideas. 17. Okay, yeah, that's quite... 17 is, I would say, average.
We're just counting the backwards, right?
No, everything.
No, what do you mean? Backwards? Okay, what do you mean? Okay, let me clarify. We are only counting the patterns which weaken us. That means, yeah. I didn't understand what you meant by backwards, because I thought backward number, I thought you speak about the numbers. No. Only what we wrote on the paper was only the ones where we fall back, not the other ones.
I didn't get it. I wrote also the ones that don't fall forward. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I have them.
Because what we need to clear, I mean, this history clearing is about clearing karmic patterns which weaken us, which are in our energy system, which have an effect on us. And the effect, as I mentioned, can be on various levels, can be bodily, can be mental, a variety of diseases and mental issues are connected with these patterns. If we clear them out of our field, we can have a much better, freer life. We just have more potential.
I counted 14.
Okay, 14, yeah, so that's, yeah, okay. So now we can clear maybe 2 patterns now. And I want to know, so I'll ask from the beginning, we have to see what are the most ones here in this group, because everything is different. And the first 2 are especially important because if these first 2 are active, we cannot continue with the rest because they have to be taken care of first. They can distort the results of later tests also. So maybe I can see a show of hands also from online, perhaps. Who has the karmic pattern number 1 active? Active means weakened, falling back. 1, 2. 2 people. Okay. So that one is the vow of silence or ban. And I'm not going to go into big explanations how it happened because then our time is gone. But just accept it as there is a karmic pattern which is ban or vow of silence in our energy field. And so I have a translation. I had to translate everything to English. And there are a few terms that are a little bit uncommon, so I have to revert to my paper. So the vow of silence, it's stored in the thyroid and the adrenal glands. And for therapy-resistant clients, this could be the reason why no change occurs if this pattern is active. And so such people may talk a lot or they may talk very little. And a ban may be excluded or being exiled from something. That is a ban. If you or your ancestors have been excluded or exiled, then this karmic pattern may be active. And it can manifest as bullying, feeling trapped within oneself, not belonging, being unseen or unreachable to others. So how we do it is, can the people who have it, Malika and Dauji, okay, you can just get up. Okay. So we are going to test a few more sub-patterns to see exactly what is active and to remove it. So if you can get into the testing position, please test. Yeah. Ban of silence. Ban of silence.
Band of silence.
Wow of silence.
Wow of silence.
Okay, I could see Malika is falling back. Dauji, any reaction for wow of silence?
Wow of silence.
Goes back, okay. And now test wow of silence beyond space and time.
Wow of silence beyond
Space and time. No need to think about it much. Okay. And
speak more slowly, sir, because I couldn't
Yes.
hear clearly what you're saying.
okay. Ban, test ban. Ban.
Ban.
So she's reacting. And ban beyond time and space.
Ban beyond time and space.
Okay, so I can see Malika, her body is reacting very clearly. So now what we do is, you have to write this number on the card which you have prepared, number 1, and you keep this card, this goes for all the patterns, you keep this card on your body for 30 days, and now we have to move you out of that field. And how we do this is, you turn anti-clockwise. You know, you are in that field, in the band field, and now you make a movement anti-clockwise and turn yourself out of the field.
What is my field?
Your field is, you just imagine that this is your field which you have tested, and you do that movement and you step out of it. Okay, very good. And now we take this field
Sorry, I think I did not.
anti-clockwise.
I did not. This is anti-clockwise.
Yeah.
This
Left
was,
to
yeah.
the
It
left
was
is
just did not
anti-clockwise.
finish the circle. I had the feeling I didn't
Okay.
make it full.
Sure, no problem. And now that field has to be, this field from which you have turned out. We take this field and we discard it and we burn it in the sun.
Okay.
That's how we do it. We take it and we burn it in the sun.
Totally in the sun.
Imagine it's there.
Yeah, imagine the sun. You have to be a little bit creative in your imagination for these things. And then we're going to clear the field.
Water.
No, we're spraying the field. And you put the number and you have,
Water and water.
this is a clearing spray, no water. So now you have to wear the card on your body as we continue with that. Otherwise you will not get the proper result. So you keep it on your body, number 1. Now, yeah.
Right one and put on your body also. Put it in your pocket.
It's a sticky one.
Yes.
Okay, and now the next one is number 2. The karmic pattern 2. Okay, Malika, good. Who else has number 2? Only Malika? Okay. So for that, you need to read a certificate. For 30 days, you have to read it every day. I'm going to send this to you. Does anybody of the online people have number 2? Anyone from online people?
I have.
Rajavala? You have it?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so I'm going to send you and Malika a certificate. This is about, let me explain it. This is also has to do with vows. It's a guilt, oath, and vows. So this certificate has to be filled in and signed by you, and you have to read it out aloud once every day. And there are several vows and oaths listed. And as you read these, you test how your body reacts to each one of them. So use a body pendulum for each one of them, and you notice each one whether it strengthens or weakens you. And you will notice as you read it over 30 days that slowly, as you read it, these will become less and less. And you have to continue reading it until you're no more weakened by any of these. And if this 30-day cycle is interrupted, we have to start from the beginning. It has to be 30 days uninterrupted, and it can be longer. I know people who had to do it for more than 60 days. Because you have to, after the 30 days, you test again, karmic pattern number 2. And if you still sway back, that means you have to continue reading it. And you will also notice it while you read it, and when you read the different vows, and you listen to your body, you will notice it also. I think, Ladili, you want to share something about this? Because Ladili has done it.
Yeah, so about actually this karmic pattern number 2, I'm reading the text you'll share with them for more than 1 month now. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and I can feel how my body also is doing the pendulum on some specific aspect of the text. Mm-hmm. And I feel that slowly it's kind of fading away. Mm-hmm. You know, but still I need to continue because 1 month was not enough. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what is number 2?
That is guilt, oaths, and vows. These are various vows. I can just give you a little sample to give you an idea. So it includes poverty, guilt, penance, chastity, baptismal vows and blood oaths, subordination to individuals, orders and organizations, submission to the powers of black magic, allegiance to fatherland and military, eternal attachment and fidelity to people and organizations, eternal revenge, eternal silence, eternal damnation, self-cursing, generational burdens, plus baptism, confirmation, initiations, belief patterns, generational burdens, energy blockages, armors, chains, seals, foreign energies, implants, transmitters, holograms, spiritual manipulations or attacks on physical, mental, and spiritual well-being, and so on. So it's quite a lot. Then the number 3 pattern. Okay. Krishna Priya also has 3. Okay. Annapurna also has 3. Okay. Okay. Good. Good news. So that is flogging or whipping.
Huh?
Flogging or whipping. Whip. Whip means, you have a whip, you know, it can be, slaves were whipped, slaves or monks were self-mutilating themselves, whip. I have a picture maybe, if that helps you. This is a whip. Okay. Okay. So
I shared something. I actually had experience.
Give you a microphone, please.
Yeah.
Here, this one.
Yeah. It's funny that you're saying this about whipping, because a few years back, it was after I took a Diksha with Guruji that I had a very strong experience. I cannot explain this experience, like I was a monk and I was whipping myself. At that moment, this thing came so strongly out that I wanted to take something and start whipping myself. And I had this visual kind of perception that I was in a monastery or somewhere and I was using this method to silence my mind. So I just wanted to share this.
So this is good. If when we do this, when we test these patterns and we connect with it, we connect with the field, then sometimes pictures come up, and some people are more visual than others. Some people, everybody's different. Some people are more audible, and some people are more visual, some people are more sensory. So if any of these pictures come up, that's very good for this work, because we are clearing the field. We want to remove all that. And we go, that's why we replay the movie, rewrite it. We go in the situation and we rewind it. We take ourselves out of that situation. And we do it in a very playful way, as I said, without going to the whole drama. How it happened doesn't matter. What matters is that we experience this newly and we free ourselves of the situation. And important is that we always test, after we have done that, we always test again. So actually we should have tested that. The second one we can't test because that has to be read. But the first one, the ban, now that you have it on your body, you could actually, let's just do that. Yeah. Malika and Dauji, you two had the ban, right? Let's see if you test it again now, after what we did. Karmic pattern number 1, ban. Allow myself to feel. Malika, did you have a reaction? It was like a little bit back and forth? Or
yeah, it was less strong. Before I was feeling it like this.
Yeah. It was slight. It was a slight backward movement.
Yeah, it was slight. This was
Okay. Now what we can do, and Dauji, I think you went
I moved
forward.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I saw that. Okay. So now, Malika, what we do is, in a situation like that, it usually or often takes time until it's fully booked out of your system, especially because you just put the card. But now we can test how long it takes until it fully leaves your system. So I'm going to ask you now, and you test, yeah? Karmic pattern number 1 week. So that means for 1 week it is, okay. So I'm asking this timeline to see how long it will still be active in your system. Okay, so in 1 week it will be still active. Now we continue. Karmic pattern number 1, 2 weeks. Okay. Karmic pattern number 1, 3 weeks. That was, what was the impulse? The first impulse was it, I couldn't.
first impulse is a little forward.
A little forward. I also.
My knees are very shaky.
Wobbly. Okay. Okay. But you could, that was a clear difference between 2 weeks and 3 weeks. That means you still have to wear the card for 1 month, the 30 days always, but it means after 3 weeks, it leaves your field. It's so that it will take 3 weeks to leave your field, and then you still keep it for 30 days so that it all traces are removed, basically. So we do this after every pattern. So now we are on pattern number 3, the whipping.
I just want to comment that
yes,
it's amazing how she reacts, it's like...
Yes. Yeah.
It's like quite incredible, because you completely have no control over it, yeah? You just... Okay, but you're just letting it...
She goes, yeah. This is exactly, this is something, some people have, for some people it's more, it's easier, and for others it's more difficult. If you're too much in your head, as we say, you can't feel. So you really have to connect, you have to, that's why we do these exercises before, so that we are, heart and brain and left and right side and all that, so that we are really relaxed and we don't, and the thinker has to be sent away. We just connect with and then, just from here and then. But for some people it's more difficult, and there could be various reasons. Did you have the pattern 30 active by chance?
30?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, because that is black magic, and if you have number 30 active or number 2, number 1 or 2, then you can have problems with the body feedback.
Okay.
But you can also have it if you're very, very much in your head. And then you need to say, I allow myself to feel, and you need to do a little bit more to access that part.
I was thinking maybe heavy lunch doesn't help also. Because I'm like touching my belly, it's like, oh my God, that's so full.
It doesn't help, yeah. But yeah. Okay. Okay, so now, so number 3. So if whoever had number 3 active, can you please get up? We have to do a few more sub-tests now for that, because we want to access exactly what it is. So does everybody understand? It's a very rare word. I had to, I translated it from German. Do you understand the word serfdom?
Yes.
She understands. Serfdom is something like servitude or slavedom. This is, whipping. As I mentioned, slaves were whipped. So these are people who are serving under some aristocracy, like in Europe. They were not called slaves, but they were like slaves. They were servants basically. Okay. So now we're testing. We're in the karmic pattern 3, and we want to test serfdom, means servitude. Serfdom.
You're saying the word, and that's what we.
I'm saying the word, yeah, because now we are within whipping. We want to find a finer, we want to specify it. Okay. Then the next one is gallery, like so slaves rowing on a boat, and they were whipped also in a gallery. Okay, and then flogging bench. Flogging means. It's a very unusual word. So.
With like as a kind of a punishment, I think so. Right?
Flogging bench is where you were beaten on a table. On a table you were beaten. I mean, these are all very cruel methods, but flogging bench. Then self-flagellation or flagellation. How does it?
Flagellation.
Self-flagellation or mortification. Selbstkasteiung. Selbstkasteiung. Yeah, Kasteiung, like monks are doing. That's exactly what she said, monks. And the last one is skinning, taking off the skin. Okay, so because we have 4 people now, we do it a little bit more general. Basically, whatever you had active, we have to exactly reverse that situation. So the first thing is we remove you. You are in that field now. You're in the field which weakens you. So the first thing is you take a big step out of the field. And in the case of skinning, did anybody have skinning? Okay. In the case of skinning, you visualize that your skin is being put back on, like a glove. Skin is being put back on, like putting on a pair of stockings. And now we are going to. So we have this syringe here, and you imagine I'm giving this to each of you, a syringe. And with this syringe, you take from your field, you remove the shock and the trauma. So we take that shock and trauma from our field, we remove it, and we discard it and we throw it into the sun. The sun is here. So we are discarding it into the sun. So we take out the shock and the trauma from our field and we discard it in the sun. And now you feel, now you have to a little bit connect with your body, with the situation, how you feel.
I do this mentally with this.
You do it mentally. It's all mentally. Everything we do here is completely mentally. And the more we are able to get into the situation, the more effective it is and the more we benefit from it. We have to really connect with that situation. And you feel your body, this situation of whipping. So your body is probably, your skin is probably hurt. If you can feel your skin, like are there affective areas of your skin which need healing? So what we do is, for that, we have the divine pharmacy, which are the Ashwini Kumaras. And from there, we can get any medicine which we need, anything, perfect, exactly what we need for that purpose. So we just cup our hands. We ask Ashwini Kumaras to get that healing balm, which is now healing our affected areas, our skin, our wounds. And then as we feel it coming, we gently put it on our arms and wherever we feel it needs, we need soothing balm. Because we were weakened by this whipping, that means somewhere in our field we have this. So put it. And then, and so then we have this tuning fork here. So with this tuning fork, I'm going to each of you. This is 432 hertz, which is the Earth frequency. And I'm putting this into your field. And now you can feel yourself, if there's anything else you feel is needed for you to heal. If there's anything else you spontaneously say, oh, I need, whatever it may be. It could be a color, it could be any more medicine, any treatment. If you feel anything else is needed, it can be done now. Oh, Annapurna. Because I didn't give you the. Let me just.
Can I share?
Yeah, please. I'm sorry.
So lately, also myself, I started thinking about Ashwini Kumaras for some reason, the celestial doctors. And so now when Malati mentioned Ashwini Kumaras, I thought, oh wow. So I started thinking about them first, and then another thought came to the mind, and that was Guruji, to offer this to him, and immediately it was gone.
Yeah, this very good. There are different ways, and ideally, if we are able to connect with that way, to remove it, that is perfect. I mean, the more we feel, the more we are able to connect, the more we can feel, and the more we can free ourselves from this. That's very good. So now what we do is, again, we take that field. We have stepped out of that field. So we take that field, as we did before. We take that field and we discard it. That's after every cleaning. That is important, so that it's totally out. So we take it, we throw it in the sun. We discard it in the sun. And now we spray the field. So you can. I'm doing it here, and you just imagine you spray your field, clear your field, wherever it is. Okay. Yes. Okay. And important is you write the number on your card and you wear it. So this was the pattern number 3. So you write 3 whipping, and if you had any. Whipping, flogging, whipping, serfdom.
Which is the second category in this?
It was the gallery?
Yes,
gallery? You had the gallery?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Also, okay. So if you had the gallery, can you connect with that? Can you connect with that situation of the gallery, being in that gallery, do you feel chains on your body?
I feel some restriction here.
Okay, what is it? What is it exactly?
Just kind of discomfort and pain.
Discomfort, pain, okay. Can you visualize that there is something? Is it just your body, or is there any...
Just this part, bringing them.
Is there anything on your body? It's like in the gallery, was there anything connected to your body? Anything which has to be removed now because we can't cut it off? Or is it only your body which is...
Strong metal band maybe?
Okay, so for that we have this laser which is cutting metal. So what we do is we go here, and so we are going to cut the metal here. We cut it open, and see now, are you able to remove it? Can you access it? Is this arm?
I can feel the difference.
Okay, so then you take it and you discard it, yeah. Okay.
Really feels.
Okay, good. Yeah, it's very important, because especially on the gallery, if we are bound, there may be chains and all kind of ropes. All this has to be discarded. So whatever the principle is in all these, whatever we feel on our body, for all these patterns, and there are some really bad ones. I mean, this is like nothing. There's some really, really bad ones.
So when you initially said number 3, I could get a vision of snakes. Hitting of snakes, maybe.
Okay,
something of that sort.
Okay, so that's very interesting. So any picture which comes is connected with that. So that means we have to also deal with that.
Right.
So then we have to see, okay, what can we do? Can you escape these snakes? Should they be killed? So, we go there, can they be caught? Can we just put them in a bag and then throw them? So that is something you have to feel.
All right.
You do it in your mind. You see the snakes and say, okay, now, and you're the Superman. You can do anything. You have all instruments at your command. You can say, okay, now these snakes are here, and the whipping is somehow related to that. Any picture, maybe, however it was connected.
So I can connect. My ancestors, they were farmers.
Okay.
So, and I've known this before also, like they've killed a lot of snakes and cobras before. So I think it could be related to that and that karmic burden kind of. Instantly I just connected when you just said.
Okay, that makes total sense. So that means it's a karmic pattern of your ancestors.
Right.
There were snakes involved, and there was whipping involved, which is very much, I'm getting goosebumps. So it must be, that's always a sign that there is. Yeah. Okay. So then the more we can connect with the situation and remove ourselves from that. That means free their ancestors, give whatever, if they have any bonds, free them from that, put the snakes somewhere else, give them whatever they need, nourishment, anything we can. We do that all with our mind, and at the end we're going to test again.
Okay.
And if we still fall back, we have to work more. That's always. If we still fall back, and if it's only a little, like in case of Malika, she was on a little, so then we could do the time. But if we really feel like there is something else, we go back in the situation, and we have to find out more what is there, and we have to get exactly the remedy. And we have all instruments to cut. We have surgical instruments. We have, whatever is needed. The body can be repaired if there's any injury on the body. Anything can be repaired. So we do all that. At the end, we take whatever balm is needed. We have syringe, and we have all kind of remedies. I have a whole list here of various remedies, for all kind of physical, mental. Anything, and anything which is not there on that list, we can take from the Ashwini Kumaras.
Okay. Right.
And that we put in our field, means on our body. We feel it, and then you can feel okay, here something else is missing, and we have good results. People really feel it, that okay, here's something. Jayadidi, you would like to share something about? Because you haven't yet spoken.
Yes, I have this. We have done nearly the whole history.
Yeah, we have done the whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And but there were still a few that we have to continue for some weeks, right?
Yes,
Till the effect is worked
Yeah.
out. But I do feel the difference. It's difficult to say what exactly you feel because it's a feeling, so it cannot be really. But I do feel the effects.
That's
yes.
That's wonderful.
And we had so many numbers, and now I have only a few numbers, probably those ones which are still in progress.
This is also very interesting that you mentioned that, because you have to imagine it's like an onion. The first time we test, we take out just the outer parts of the onion, like the skin. Mm-hmm. And then we remove these. And as we remove these, we are able to feel deeper and go to deeper levels. And then more and more. So usually you have to do it a few times. So then less come. And then if you do it maybe 2, 3, 4 times, at some point there's nothing left. And so it means you have cleared out all the patterns. But it takes several attempts, because some are so deep which you cannot feel because they're overlaid by some others which are strong. And as I mentioned, especially if black magic, black magic alone has 30 sub-patterns, which all need to be checked basically. And then the vow of silence is a big one. So these two are very big. So if that is active, then we can't fully get rid of
My
others.
experience with what you just did, I think the laser thing, I could actually feel it and feel really light on my head now. So I could see that go,
Okay, that's great.
It's really good.
So now let's do again to end. We can still test now. Everybody who had number 3, let's get up again and let's test it again. Karmic pattern number 3, whipping.
Going back, but less.
Less, okay. So then let's test the time. So, karmic pattern 3, whipping 1 week. Number 3, whipping 2 weeks. Whipping 3 weeks. Okay. I could see very clearly with you. Anybody else is still falling back with 3 weeks?
No, very much.
Okay. So that means for you it will take 3 weeks, and Annapurna would.
I feel a very strong feeling of ground, like my feet touches ground.
Okay.
So it helps me understand some things that I was not able to understand in my life before. Mm-hmm. I come from a very strong Catholic background. There are priests in my family, and my grandmother wanted me to become a nun. Mm-hmm. I always had a huge resistance, but I would laugh it off because I loved my grandmother dearly. Then when I came to Vrindavan, this is a place of sadhana, I always had resistance, even if it was unconscious, even if I programmed my mind, I really want to go and do this, but something inside of me was just no. And then, as I said, I had this huge experience after receiving the Diksha. I was a monk, and this experience was really, really strong. I was just whipping myself like a lot, and there were wounds on the body just to silence my mind. So now I just feel like a ground, a ground, and actually feelings of love for myself.
That's very good.
I don't know. This is why I can explain.
For sharing,
And I just really want to thank you for mentioning this, and for coming up with this thing, because if this didn't come up, when I had a feeling myself, I just thought always, I'm just speculating, the mind is getting sour. This is probably not true. I'm just imagining it. making it up.
Yeah.
But look, now it just came up. Like, so I'm feeling just extremely grateful.
Okay, so so there's something like an energy exchange. If we receive something, then in order to get the full benefit, we give something like energy exchange. So so I already work with some of you, so that is already exchanged, and others. If you want to, I mean, there are several ways to do that. You can just maybe like the video, for example, or the channel, or you are welcome also. I'm doing this also with on a one-to-one basis with clients. So we couldn't do, of course, you couldn't do all the patterns, but if you want to continue with that, then you can contact me in private, and we can work on that. And you can, of course, you can also give a few rupees if you like as an exchange. So I leave this up to you. But if you, yeah.
Really nice reviews for you, like how experience was. Probably that you could use.
That would be, of course, any kind of testimonials.
I'm curious. What is number 9 on your list?
I can give you all the numbers. That's not good. Number 9 is hanging. Yeah.
Can you tell me 6 and 7?
6 is angel's wings. That's something special. That means that's different than all the other patterns. That means you have been. You can't live your full potential. Like you imagine somebody cuts your wings. That means you are self-restricted. You know, some put into restriction.
7?
7 is beheading or decaptivation. That's in France. In France, that's French people usually have it because French.
So you said that you will share with us all the numbers, yeah?
Will you share the other numbers?
Yeah, I can. Let me just say one thing. The reason why we don't share this in the beginning is if you know what it is, then you don't test properly. If I tell you what it is, and then then your rational thinker comes in the way. But since you have already tested it, then I can give you the numbers so that you know. And if you want to get rid of it, we can work on that. But before to say it is not good because then
makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you very much. Thank you also for online people. Radhe Radhe.